If you do go on to enjoy today's video, do me a favour and hit that like button and of course subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Save up to 14% on coins and get an extra 5% off when you use the code TVM at checkout. Offer ends 1st of January. There are also chances to win free FUT21 coins over at u7buy.com. Link down below. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new video, and we have the 84 rated Joao Victor today. Yesterday, EA released this, more expensive than the freeze Aouar, which makes no sense given the fact that Aouar is better and higher rated. Well done, EA. 130,000 coins makes him around 20k more expensive, or at least it was 20k more expensive than Aouar. Not that there's any real comparison between the two. They are two completely different players, but 4-star skills, 5-star weak foot. Great start, right? 5'10", good height, medium work rate. It's not ideal, but not the worst. Lean body type, fantastic. 92 acceleration, 87 sprint speed. Bit of a differential there, but again, it's not too much that you have to really concern yourself with it. 90 positioning, 89 finishing, 86 shot power. Long shots, volleys especially, and penalties, not particularly great. Short passing, I would say least said about this, the better. I mean, passing in general, least said about the better. The short passing is 80, which isn't terrible for a striker. The dribbling across the board is not very good, really. I mean, 95 agility is fantastic, and then it just completely falls off. 83 balance, fine. Reactions 80, ball control 80, dribbling 81, composure 82. That for what we're spending here. Because, I mean, if you look at it and you think, oh, it's an 84 rated car, what are you expecting? Yeah, no, I know that, but why have they charged 130,000 coins? You have to take more than just the rating into consideration here. You have to think, well, how much have I actually paid for this? And you can argue till you're blue in the face that you've used untradables and you've had what you needed in the club, so it didn't cost you anything. And to a certain extent, I do understand. But on the other hand, you are still effectively using 130,000 coins worth of players, regardless of whether they're untradeable or not. This on the market would not be that expensive. This on the market would be a fraction of the price of the SBC, right? So, in my opinion, even before we get to the strength and the physical, it's already I would say, a substandard card, especially for the price that we're paying. 90 stamina, 80 strength, which is decent. Now, I am a big fan of EA using players that not many people would have heard of before, right? So Joao Victor is not exactly a household name. You know, if I went to my mother and I said, hey, do you know who Neymar is? She'd be like, yeah, the bloke who shags his sister. She probably wouldn't say that. But if I said, hey, do you know who Joao Victor is? She'd go, no, haven't got a clue. What do you want for your dinner? So the problem with this is, for me, is they need to be giving these type of players big boosts. You know, the people who are like Neymar and even Aouar, they can afford to make them not that great, but because they are semi-household names and most people know who they are, especially like, you know, if you play FIFA, you know who Aouar is, you know. People are going to use them regardless of how good they are. With someone like Joao Victor, you need to make him very appealing, especially for the price point. You know, if they've said 130k, they need to give me a reason why he's 130k. Honestly, I think EA have looked at this and gone, right, we'll give him a 5-star weak foot and we'll charge 130,000 coins because we know how important that is. It's not that important this year. I think EA have got this one completely wrong. If they'd said, look, this guy's 60k, I think then, I mean, he's just missed a point-blank effort. We'll talk about the card in a second, but if EA had said, look, 60k, even then, I feel like some people would be saying, no, he's too expensive. But at least then you can argue, well, it's only 60k, you know? I might as well take a punt with it. The beautiful thing about these freeze cards is that they all have loans. So if you want my honest opinion, get the loan. And if you love him that much that he is going to go into your main team, look at that for a turn from Samuel Eto'o. That is fantastic. Yeah, if you like him that much, you can just go and complete the whole thing. However, if you don't like him at all, you've only really wasted, what, 6 or 7 silver cards or whatever it is. He's just not that great in game, unfortunately. Played him in quite a few different sort of match types. I played by myself in Classic Match for a few games, and the only thing I could really get out of him was assists. He couldn't finish. Like, the odd goal here or there, maybe, but that is what I was using him for. I was literally using him to hold up the ball just enough, and not even hold it up in a sense of use his strength necessarily. I was just using him as a body to be able to, look at that for power from Maradona, that's insane. But just using him just to hold it up and then to release it to someone who could actually do something with it. So there we go, we give it into Maradona, who's capable of missing the target with his weak foot. I mean, that, to be fair, Maradona does have a 3-star weak foot. You'd expect him to miss. I didn't really grumble at that because of his weak foot. But when Joao Victor was through on goal with his strong foot, even though he does have a 5-star weak foot anyway, but he was through on goal with his strong foot, and he had no one pressuring him. He had nothing to put him off, and he still hit the post. There, he doesn't chip it over the keeper. Ronaldo comes in and says, just let a man do this, son. The thing I do kind of half like about him, sort of, is that he does look like Ronaldo in game. He's got the same colour boots. He's got the same sort of posture. And he runs in kind of a very similar way as well. So, not up close like this, of course. He doesn't look like Ronaldo there. But when you are looking from a co-op camera angle, sometimes, you know, when I was playing Ronaldo and Joao Victor in the same team together, I'd have to look to see, right, which ones... Right, okay. It's not too difficult to tell them apart. You can tell them apart quite easily, actually. But at first glance, he does look like Ronaldo. And he does kind of half, you know, move like him as well. He's absolutely nowhere near as good as him, and the clips you're about to see at the end of this were against not a lesser opponent necessarily, but this guy wasn't anywhere near as good as some of the other people we were playing. So you've got to take these goals and manoeuvres and things with a pinch of salt. You know, the fact that he's got around the outside there and managed to dink a ball across to a 5'5" player who's just beaten a defender in the air, by the way. That ball from Maradona is sensational. Do not use your volleys with Joao Victor. I'd rather have just taken that down and passed it to the goalkeeper. It would have been far less embarrassing. He gets through here, a lot of luck if you ask me, and scores a goal. And finally, Maradona picks it up, waiting for that pass, dinks it up, wait for it, takes it off him. He literally steals the ball, and it's a good finish, to be fair. A decent finish into the bottom corner. I am not a fan of this card at all. I can't get on with it. I tried. I am a big fan of lesser known players. I wish EA would do it more. Players that I've never heard of, to make me go and have a look to see, you know, what they're good at and how they play in real life and who they actually are. I would love that, you know. But when they release them like this with major flaws and more expensive than a player like Joao, who is a complete striker, cam, winger, even arguably a centre mid, you can't bring out a card the very next day who's 20k more expensive and just isn't anywhere near as good. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I feel sorry for Wolfsburg fans who obviously don't get that many special cards throughout the year. Maybe people who are looking forward to like an Mbabu or something are going to have to deal with a substandard 84. He does have some strong points. You know, his finishing when he does hit the target is actually pretty good. His positioning is okay, I suppose. His acceleration is nice. Good strength and stamina. You know, his agility is quite nice. And of course, he does have a 5-star weak foot, and the 4-star skills are very usable. But he just doesn't have an awful lot else going for him. You really need to boost up the dribbling, but you also need to try and improve the finishing because for whatever reason, he's just not that clinical. His passing is quite poor, and there's only so much a chem style can do at the end of the day. So for me, for 130,000 coins, absolutely not. But by all means, go and get the loan, try him out in friendlies, and let me know what you think. If you have enjoyed this play review, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.